Hey everybody, it's news of the day time, and there's some big news of the day today. But first we're going to talk for a second about, I've got a new member to welcome, and that's Vesperia. Welcome to the Habs, Talking Habs membership, not Habs, Talking Habs membership. Hopefully I'll see you in the members only live stream that's tonight, if you see this video in time. If not, I'll see you the next time. Thanks for taking a membership, and I've seen you around. I know you've been a subscriber for a little while, but welcome. Okay, so first up, the big news: Habs get Jake Allen from St. Louis. So Montreal Canadiens, or I should say Mark Bergevin, went out and solved one of the problems that he was going to have to tackle in the offseason, and that's backup goaltender for Carey Price. We've all seen how much better Carey Price is in the playoffs when he's rested, and he didn't waste any time. He went right out. He got the guy that I had talked about, not in the recent videos because we were looking at unrestricted free agents, but I had talked about, and I was trying to find the video. I don't remember exactly which one, so I can direct you at it. If I find it, it'll be in the description of the video, in this video. But I mentioned him in the video that that's the guy I would go out and trade for, because St. Louis is definitely up against the cap, and they're going to need to move some contracts if they want to possibly sign Alex Pietrangelo. That's their captain and #1 defenseman, and I think Vince Dunn as well, and other players. I mean, they're really up tight against the cap, so they really needed to move somebody. And I thought Jake Allen was probably the most likely of the guys there to get moved. He's got 1 year left on a $4.35 million cap hit, which is kind of pricey. So you might say, well, that's a bit pricey. You're going to be spending almost $15 million for two goalies. But considering where Montreal's been without having a quality goaltender to back up Carey Price, we probably would have made the playoffs not this past season, the season before, and just things like that. And so it's finally happening. It's worth the money. He's only got 1 year left on the contract, and if Montreal wants to re-sign him after that and he wants to stay, I'm sure he's going to not make the same kind of money. I mean, he's a little bit overpaid, so I would think he'd come in for less than that. And we don't need him for very long anyway, as we hope that Caden Primo will be hopefully filling that role within a year or two, I would think. So there you go. So Jake Allen is the newest Montreal Canadian, and welcome to Montreal. Okay, next up is Max Domi. Resign or trade. There's been a lot of talk since Max Domi took the Montreal affiliation off of his Twitter account, which he's since put back on. He's also hired a new agent. I can't now remember his name. He's hired a new agent, and there's a lot of talk. Do we trade him? Do we re-sign him? Is there room here for him at center? Because he apparently wants to stay center. And Claude Julien has come out and said that he thinks Max Domi is a better center than winger, and he sees him as a center. So where does that leave? Where does he play? I don't see a spot for him, considering the emergence of Nick Suzuki and KK. Maybe KK won't be second line center next season, but he's going to be very soon. And you got Phil Deneau also ahead of him, and I don't see where Max Domi fits in there. I see him as a winger, and I would love to see them keep him and have him be a winger, but we'll see how that works out. A lot of people talking now about getting Jake Allen. Now someone's going to have to move. Is Domi going to have to move? Is the fact that he wants to stay center and doesn't want to play wing mean he has to move? And there's all kinds of things. There's all kinds of trade proposals out there. You can pretty much put Domi in almost every trade proposal with Montreal lately. And I don't know where it's going to go, honestly. I kind of think that it might mean that he's going to be moved this year. I don't see where he's going to play if he doesn't play wing, and he's also a really good asset, although not at his highest value right now. So I don't know where that's going to go, but it's something that we're going to keep an eye on, that's for sure. Next up, does Phil Deneau stay long term? Because Phil Deneau also, in his exit interviews after the playoffs, was talking about how he doesn't really want to see his role change. He wants to still remain as at least an offensive center and producing offense and not strictly a defensive center. He's got also 1 more year left on his contract, and he was asked if the role of his change in roles that happened in the playoffs, if that continues, would that make a difference in him deciding to re-sign with Montreal or not? And he said yes. He didn't elaborate from what I saw. He said yes. He would like to still be producing offense and not strictly be defense. That's fine, and I wouldn't expect anything else for him to say. He has a lot of confidence in himself, and he wants to obviously be the best he can be and play a big role on the team, as he's done for the last couple of seasons at least. So I don't know. I don't think, I think he's here for a while. I don't think you trade him. Why would you trade a guy that's name is in the Selke running every year right now? He finished seventh 2 years ago, and fifth, I think, this season. So, like, this is a guy that really is a big part of your team, best face-off guy on the team. He can produce at both ends of the ice. He just happens to be better at the defensive side, and he definitely shuts down the other lines, the other team's big lines. And I don't know, how do you replace him right now? If you can replace him, I mean, if you're going to trade him, you got to replace him. I think trading him away without being prepared and having a replacement for him is just a huge mistake. And you're already at, this team is on the rise and it's going forward. I think trading Danault prematurely like that, and you just, you kind of halt that a bit. So that's my thoughts on that. Oliver Ekman-Larrson is on the block, apparently. I don't know if this is just rumor exactly or this is something that's going to happen, but it seems likely that Oliver Ekman-Larrson, the captain and number one defenseman over in Arizona for the Coyotes, he looks to be on the block. He's 29. He has 7 years left on his contract at $8.25 million. So it's a hefty contract at a big cap hit. Now, the reason I'm mentioning it here is because there's a lot of talk about whether Montreal should go after him. Granted, now, Oliver Ekman-Larrson would solidify that back line. The number one pairing, playing with Shea Weber, playing big minutes, putting up big numbers. I would think, at least very good numbers. And he's that number one defenseman on the left side that we've been looking for. That's without a doubt. Just the problem is 7 years, $8.25 million. It's a lot, especially when you've got some big contracts that are going to have to be handed out shortly for the young guys coming up, for the Gallagher, for Max Domi maybe right now. There's a lot of contracts. I don't know how you've managed $8.25 million. There's going to have to be some money and contracts going the other way. You may see Domi go, but I can't see Domi going back to Arizona. I've seen that. I don't know why I just said that, because before I shooting the video, I said to myself, don't mention Domi, because why would they want Domi going back there? I don't know, unless they feel that they made a mistake. I don't know, but I don't know if Domi would be the guy going back there. But you've got Ryan Poehling, you've got, let's face it, Cole Caufield and Alex Romanov and draft picks. That's more than likely what Arizona would want to give up, Montreal to give up for Oliver Ekman-Larrson. To me, listen, I can kind of understand Cole Caufield. I really can. He's a small player. You might feel that maybe he's not going to make it. You might, hedge your bet, and you might say that. I don't see giving up on Romanov yet. It's just too early because he's never played here. We want to see him here, and I think he's going to be a great player, and maybe within a couple of years be able to fill the role that Ekman-Larrson actually fills, right? Although I think he's a big boy, Ekman-Larrson, and Romanov about 6 feet. So I don't know. That's a big question right now, and it's kind of related to the next one. What would it take to get Patrik Laine and Nikolaj Ehlers from Winnipeg? Because I think this one, I'm not sure if Winnipeg's like officially kind of stated this, but it seems that Patrik Laine and Nikolaj Ehlers will be on the trading block because they want to find a second-line center. So you'd need to be sending back a second-line center, and apparently a top 4 right-side defenseman. This is what I was reading on Twitter the other day from a good source, so it might be true, might not be, but that seems to be, and maybe a draft pick or, maybe a lesser prospect, not one of your top prospects, which is, again, a big price to pay, but I mean, you're getting back 2 really good players. Ehlers and Drouin have a history with the Mooseheads. They had a lot of great chemistry together, and that could really make a big difference here in Montreal if the chemistry comes back, and he brings Drouin out of his mediocrity, I guess you want to say. So I know everybody would love to have Patrik Laine, and if you had to move Cole Caufield over to get Oliver Ekman-Larrson, listen, Patrik Laine's got that sniper shot that you need, that you're hoping that's coming when Caufield gets here. You know, that he's going to provide that. So you might get a little earlier in Laine. And Laine is only 22, I believe, this season, so he's not old. So whereas Caufield, yeah, he is still younger, but it's not like Laine is like 25, 26. You're getting a young guy that does the same job. And if he's available, and maybe there's the trade with Allen is a signal that there's going to be some moves coming and there's going to be some changes coming here in Montreal. Maybe they do it. I don't know. I don't see them getting both of them. I think it's a lot, but I could see one or the other being moved and Montreal wanting to pick them up and maybe getting them. I don't know which two. Personally, I kind of really, as a Habs fan, and how much I really love Cole Caufield, I want to see him playing here in Montreal. So I really would like to see them try to get Nikolaj Ehlers and see if that's what you can do to get Drouin kickstarted by getting somebody that he's had tons of chemistry with in the past. And, you know, maybe that's what needs to be done. So we'll see what happens there. It's another situation to be monitored. But remember, the trade season, all that's just starting. So there's lots of time, and there's going to be a lot of talk and a lot of different rumors coming up. Does getting Allen mean Price is on the move? I'll answer that really quickly. I don't think so. I don't think so. I know that would be a question being asked because of the amount that you're paying for the two goaltenders. And Allen definitely is a backup and a good quality backup. And there are unrestricted free agents available on the market coming up, coming up because it's not hit yet. That, you know, you could replace and put in there. But, you know, Jeff, my friend Jeff from the channel, I met him as a subscriber. We were talking the other day, and he was saying that this team is kind of built around having Price and Weber, you know, and if you get rid of Price, even though you bring somebody back who's still good, it changes things, and you might have to really make some bigger moves and to make up for that. I don't think it means that Price is going because of Allen's contract, and it's only 1 year. I don't think so. I think that they only feel they need a goalie for 1 or 2 seasons until Caden Primo gets here. And I think he's just trying to bring in somebody that can help them win right away, right now, because he likes what he saw, and we all did, from Suzuki and KK, and the fight they had against Pittsburgh and against Philly, and the things you can see this team possibly getting places they can get to a little bit earlier than maybe people thought, and I think this helps hopefully to speed that up. And I just don't think Price is going anywhere. So no, I say no. Drouin defends Domi. Jonathan Drouin is getting a little bit of flack apparently. I'm gonna see if I can call this up here on my other computer. He's getting a little bit of flack for defending Domi. His comments. Domi's, last year he was our best player with 72 points. Since I've been here, I haven't seen another guy, so another player, pick up 72 points. So, it's hard for me to talk about it, he said. I'm a bit caught in the middle and can't really respond the way I want to. But for me, all of the people in Montreal and those who are currently on his back, things will have to calm down. So that's the gist of it. I mean, he's apparently they're very close, and he's kind of right, but I think he's just defending his friend, and I wouldn't expect anything else from him, honestly, about that. And I don't think Drouin has any say in whether or not Domi's going to get traded or not. And but he's defending him, and why shouldn't he defend his buddy? I don't know why people are coming down on Drouin. Well, I do know, because people are frustrated with Jonathan Drouin. So because of that, because he does something like that, they're going to come down on him. That's wrong. He's allowed to say that, and he has every right to, and he is right. He's 100% right, and I don't know why people are coming down on him for that. You want to be a good teammate, you got to stick up for your buddies. I mean, that's how it is. Next up is Guy Lafleur. Apparently is doing very well, and the reason I talk about that, where I got the Drouin story. Stu Cowan from the Gazette, he also wrote about Guy Lafleur. He was out Jonathan Drouin's golf tournament. That's where this came from. And yeah, so he just, I guess, asked how he's doing. He's doing really well. He's 68 years old. He's getting better. He was there to help raise money for the hospital. It's the CHUM here. It's called Centre Hospitalier Université Montréal. CHUM. So one of the, I guess the hospital where he got better and had his operation, all that was a CHUM hospital. So he's there hoping to help raise money and all that kind of stuff. He talked a little bit about Dale Hawerchuk. They were in touch every couple of weeks, he said, right up to the end, talking about you know, how they're handling their illnesses, and how Guy said he had a little better than Dale. Obviously, better luck in what you got. And anyway, he talked about Dale Hawerchuk. They played a little bit, he said, on, I guess, a Team Canada team or an all-star team or something. And yeah, so he talked about that. And he's doing really well. And just good to see. Guy Lafleur is my favorite hockey player of all time. So I wanted to put that in there and just let everybody know Guy Lafleur is doing really well. And I think that brings us to the end of the news of the day. It's sort of the news of the day. They're not all news of the day items, but they are kind of news of the day items. So I'm doing that. Some of this I was going to talk about in my podcast, but everybody was really busy, and things came up like last minute, and we couldn't get the podcast together. And I didn't want to waste some of these topics, because you never know, a week later it doesn't pay to talk about it anymore. So I thought I'd just do this here like this. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. If you like that, give a thumbs up down there, and leave any comments you may have about these stories, about my thoughts on them. Let me know your thoughts, what you think, and do that in the comment section. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that notifications bell as well, and that'll get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. And that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Members, see you tonight at the members only live stream. And that's it. Peace out. Bye, y'all. See you next video. And now I just got to find where my mouse is to turn off the camera.